What is up?
Not much,
Ashley
not
NFT
much.
here. I'm so happy to be here with Jack Davidson. Bad Fruit, what is up?
Not much. So stoked to be here. Thank you for having me. Like, this is so great. I'm familiar with you guys, just seeing you guys pop up everywhere in the space over the last year. So, something I love about you guys is the credibility that you guys pass off in the space, that you guys are reporting actual news and you guys are actually keeping up with what's important to know. So,
You'll also have to bear with me. This happens every interview. My dogs are quiet the whole time. And then here we go.
totally
So,
fine.
Coco's
Yes.
joining us today.
Totally fine. Totally fine. I'm a huge dog guy, so like I love dogs. That doesn't even faze me. So yeah, love what you guys do.
Thank
love
you
what you
for
guys
those
do.
kind words.
Absolutely. Well, it's just in this space, there's so much chaos and BS that flies around. So it's like really important that like you're just doing your homework, you're doing your research,
We try. We really love it. And more than anything, we love the artists in this space and the ones that are truly trying to make a difference. We've all seen the 10K projects, we've seen the rug pulls, and we get a lot of emails. And the ones we respond to are the ones that feel like they have heart. And you for sure have heart.
Thank you.
So,
yeah.
I want to introduce you to our community if they don't already know you. If you don't know who Jack is, if you don't know Bad Fruit, if you don't know Skull Kids, today will be about these projects, one of which is minting today. So we'll get into that. Tell me about how you came up into the NFT space.
Wow. Okay. So just for my community is gonna laugh seeing this right now because like I have such a potty mouth and like today I was like, okay, no cursing. Like like when I'm doing this stuff. So
curse who?
Oh, okay. Fuck shit balls. Like glad I could get that off my tongue. I've been holding it in. So okay. So now that I have permission, now I could fully like unload my story because like it starts a little raunchy, like it's so where I started a year ago, April 14th, I had purchased $500 worth of Ethereum. I looked at that when I did my taxes. That was my first purchase of ETH. So about a year ago was when I had my first cryptocurrency purchase. And leading up before that was a pivotal couple months for me. So I come from the real estate world. I've sold real estate. I've created content. I've done media for real estate. I grew up in the Hamptons on Long Island. So, top tier kind of stuff. Not where I'm from, where I come from, a scrappy little fishing outlet in the Hamptons that we go out east to make our money. And so I got to a point where I was just like, really done with that career because it's just so cutthroat and, I'm pretty decent at sales and I just wanted to change it up and I've always wanted to be an artist. So February of 2021, during the pandemic, I had just packed my shit up, left my careers and just my girlfriend at the time, her and I we moved to Florida and like we just took the chance and it ended up not working out. Florida was just not the move for us. And we came home in February of 2021 and I was just like at rock bottom. Like I just could not figure out what my next step was. And oh, who's so cute? Who's that little friend?
Coco's joining us for our interview today. This is so
cute. So I had went back to one of my old jobs that I was just really passionate about, something that I had done also while selling real estate, working nights. I would do like social work. I worked in a group home for incarcerated youth. And because, so it's like a group home for like.
That's incredible.
Yeah, like kids who just constantly are getting in trouble. And like, because I was a troublemaker growing up. So like, I get it. I get the whole thing. And like, I've kind of made it out of the weeds of like getting into trouble. I still do every now and then. But like, I'm able to just it really was like an amazing line of work. It made me feel so rewarded. So I'd worked there on and off for the last decade. And that was the place I kind of went to when I was like in between work. I was like, I don't know, let me just go here. Cause they would always like, rehire me and stuff. So I was there again, just trying to figure it out. And one of my great friends called me one night. I was doing an overnight and he called me and he was like, I had never heard of crypto. I had never heard of anything. I didn't know anything. And he calls me and he's like, dude, NFTs. And I'm like, no. We did this already. We did this bit. Like, no, I'm not doing a pyramid scheme. I'm not doing it, dude. He's like, no, it's not. He's like, it's this platform with artists, cryptocurrency, blah, blah, blah. He's trying to explain it to me. So He 2 weeks it took him to convince me to just try it out. So this leads me into the more gnarly part of the story. So back in high school, that was peak troublemaker for me. And what I would do is I suffer from severe ADHD. It's really hard for me to sit still and stay focused. And it actually helps me as an entrepreneur. I've been very successful because of it. But in certain settings, not appropriate. And so growing up in high school, I would always cut class and I would always graffiti, and I would graffiti very inappropriate things in my high school. So I would draw like just giant penises, like, you know, like God's hand, like that painting where it's like the angels like this. Like I would draw them as dicks with tinier dicks, and like I would just graffiti it everywhere. And so as time went on, nobody knew it was me except for like my tight friends. So like they would call me the penis bandit in the high school. So like they would be like, the penis bandit strikes again. Yeah. Right. So it's so funny.
It's like the original degen. Like it's such degen behavior.
Totally. And so there was one assembly that they had, because I guess they got tired of it. Right. So they had an assembly. They're like, whoever's drawing male genital, you need to stop. It's disgusting. You're making people uncomfortable. In the auditorium, like with the entire, you know, and like I'm just sitting there like, yeah, like stop, asshole. Like who's doing that? You know? So Paul, my great friend, he's in the NFT space as well. He does like a photography collection. He's the one that called me. And when he called me when I was working at the group home, he was like, you got to get on Twitter. You got to do your whole funny thing, and you got to do the dicks. So I was like, all right. So my first collection was called
Dicks It Is.
Yeah, Dicks It Is. And my first collection was called Dicker's NFT. And warning, before you just go check that out, because some of it's real gnarly. And but I like to draw pop culture references as penises. Ultimately, the goal is I'm a comedian at the end of the day, and like I love to make people laugh, and especially with stuff that they shouldn't be laughing at. So like I don't care.
And potty humor never loses. I mean, it's like it's the best.
Loses. And I honestly, I don't fuck with people that don't laugh at potty humor. It's weird you're not laughing. You're making it weird.
Yeah.
By it's hysterical. Yeah. So that's 100%. My big thing.
It's always like, funny.
Yeah. So like I don't care how old I get. When I see a little wiener graffitied on a subway or something like that, like I'm gonna be like, nice. You know, like no matter how old I get.
Yeah.
So so then what happened was Dickers was on Twitter. I'd never done Twitter before. I was getting a sale here and there by like, you know, people are like, oh, this is funny. I'm like, yeah, that's the whole thing. And I didn't really gain any real traction. I was just trying to like get my feet wet. And someone at the time was like, hey, you've been wanting to be an artist your whole life, and you're starting to, you know, this is your chance, and like you're gonna blow it on dicks, no pun intended. And I was like, oh, wow, you're right. It's like maybe I shouldn't. Like it is so niche. Like not everybody gets it, and I understand that. And like that would totally be cutting myself short as an artist. And so then she suggested, she was like, you know, why don't you do the skulls? You always draw skulls, you know, that's your thing. Like, why don't you do it? And I was like, okay. So then the first Skull Kid was born, Halo #1. And it was
tell us about Skull Kids, because Skull Kids, I mean, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And it's not, if I'm correct, the genesis like is not generative.
No, it's hand drawn completely. So
I mean, tell me more.
Okay, so it's so great. Like I just before I even get into that, I want to encourage any artist that's listening right now, fucking go for it. Fucking just try it. Just go for it. My life is rapidly changing daily because of this. And I got to, whatever person is thinking about, I don't know, pull the trigger, whatever. So
go. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I couldn't agree more.
Because that's what happened. So I created the first Skull Kid, and I was watching all of these generative projects drop, and I was like, fuck, how are they pumping out art like this? And like, I knew nothing about the space. I thought they were hand drawing pieces before I figured out that a dev was writing smart contract. What the fuck's a smart contract? You know, like, I don't know. I didn't know. And like, now I know, but I mean, at the time I didn't, and I still was wildly successful. So that's why I'm saying sometimes, like, you don't have to have everything figured out to make the next step. Like, just try it.
Absolutely. And there's success to be had at all levels. And,
Absolutely.
I'm such an advocate for the artist that do it in whatever way feels comfortable because there's space for everyone.
Totally, totally. And I think the most amazing thing for me outside of the money, I probably did 7 digits this year. Like I did well. Yeah, totally. Not just Skull Kids, but I have a Bored Ape. I have other things that just was really beneficial. But it's not even about that. As an artist, it's the validation. Yesterday, I was speaking in a space. I was getting a little emotional about it because I was like, you guys, like, I've made a couple bucks in my day. Like, I've always been an entrepreneur. There's something I know about Jack Davidson is I will never not have a couple bucks in my pocket. So it's not about money for me. It's about the validation of an artist. Like, wow, you guys are really investing in my art. Like, you guys love my art. So Skull Kids was, it was me trying to keep up with generative projects. I was trying to hand draw them. So I was working 18 hours a day. I still have calluses on my fingers from like just trying to keep up. And I think people that knew more than me were like, whoa, this one artist isn't fucking around. Like, this guy is cooking. Like, holy shit. And like, I quit my job. I went balls to the wall. I just focused on it and it all just happened. So then as time went on and I learned, I cut the original Skull Kids Immortals, which is a 200-piece 1/1 collection. And they all have a very good personality. And that's when our community was born. And our community is so tight-knit. Like my project, Skull Kids Immortals, we have passed the test of time in NFT space. We have made it through every bear market, every single 10K rug pull. Anytime people have shit their pants because ETH dipped a little bit, we're still moving on secondary. Our community is huge.
Have you been doxxed this whole time?
Entire time. At first I tried not to. I tried to keep up the penis bandit thing. But like I was like, you know what? Like, I speak with conviction. I believe what I'm saying. And I want people to see my fucking face and hear my voice to know that you can bank on me.
Yes. Yes.
Like, I will die before I let people down.
Yeah. And it's so rare in the space. Like the motivation is, mystery, quick money. And of course there's going to be rug pull. Of course you're going to get scammed.
Absolutely.
And to me, if a team isn't doxxed, red flags all around at this point. Like, we should know better.
Absolutely. So I'm a big believer in the doxing technique. Also, it's because my boyish charm is like really easy to sell. Like, people just eat it up like fucking pancakes, So, but in all reality, it's when people aren't doxed, it's like, it is a little concerning. And it's like, you can be doxed and still represent yourself behind a profile picture. But like, you can say, hey, my name is Jack Davidson and here's my story. Here's a picture of my face. I was once known as the penis bandit. Like, I want to add character to the credibility. So, what ended up happening was we were outgrowing just the 1/1. The people would come to Discord and they'd be like, oh, the floor is so high and there's nothing to buy. And like, I hated that because I wanted people to come in. So I partnered with my developer, Jeff. He's like the tech side of things. He saw when I was like, when the collection was complete, I was just like, I don't know. And he was like, let me help you. Like, I have ideas. Like, let's move this to the next thing. So then we started calculating for the generative. And then that's when Skull Kids Generations was born. So that minted yesterday, pre-sale for the Immortals.
And tell me how many have sold already.
1/10 of our supply has sold. Yes. Thank you. 1/10 of our supply has sold just to the original 1/1 holders. And they're still fucking minting like psychos right now. Like, leave some for the rest of them. But that's what I wanted. That's why we're wiring the utility always back to the 1/1. Like, you guys eat first. You guys place your money with me first.
Yep.
This is so just to bank on it. So and
tell us about the utility a little bit. Like, that's something you hear people talking about a lot. Like, is utility gone? The art should stand alone. But I think communities want to know what they get in return. So let's hear about it.
Totally. So our utility this is how you know we're fucking legit. We're fucking gangster. So ready? We don't do fucking roadmaps because roadmaps put you in a little glass fucking box of commitment. Our vision, our roadmap will scale with the success of bad fruit. So I'm not going to fucking cut us short. I'm not going to commit to some bullshit that is like, oh, we're going to do a 5 ETH giveaway. It's like, yeah, but what if I do 500,000 ETH? Like that 5 ETH is fucking nothing. Like I want to make sure I'm always, so that's number one. We're not committing to a roadmap because our vision is just so large. We're planning for the next 20 years. So Skull Kids rebranded into Bad Fruit. Bad Fruit is the umbrella brand. So Bad Fruit is just a suedum of me that now we're pushing as like a lifestyle. It's just like this troublemaker with a heart of gold. And
I love it.
Right. So what we are doing at Bad Fruit with our utility is like another huge chapter of utility in Bad Fruit is our fucking community. So like our community is like literally probably the best in the space. I hop into other Discords, and I know I'm fucking biased. Of course I'm gonna fucking say that right now. But like I when I hop into other Discords, like you see people kind of being dicks for like no fucking reason. And it's like, if you do that, we're never gonna get to like a mass adoption phase. Because I remember when I was first trying to be sold on NFTs, I was like, no, dude, scam, don't want to do it. And like, let's get that stigma away by not being assholes, So something that we celebrate at Bad Fruit is community milk. And community milk is my version of the Jim Jones Kool-Aid. So when you join our cult, community milk is just like spreading kindness. It's just spreading kindness. If someone has a question, answer them. And don't be a dick. Build real relationships here. Pay it forward. That's what it means. It's like, I love when I see my community, especially the immortals. It happens more in the alpha channel where like people are like, oh, I need can somebody front me? I need to do this. And then like when I see somebody will be like, oh, I'll front you for it. Like I'll ensure that front. And then like, I'll even reward that person even more because they just put it out there. So like reward.
That's so beautiful.
Right. So I always reward in the Discord when my football coach used to say like, like your character is like what you do when no one's looking. Right? Like how you dance when nobody's looking. And like, I love when I see people that aren't looking to get anything, just being nice, gonna reward it every time, every fucking time.
Absolutely. I love it.
That's like a big utility. It's a safe place to start your NFT career because we're gonna walk you through the steps. We're gonna, we made sure our price point for the generations was super low. Because
tell us what's the price point?
Yeah. So for immortals, well, there's immortal gods and there's immortals. So if you hold 3 base Skull Kids, you'll get a discount of 0.01 per mint. So like,
got it.
Yeah, and like we've made it for like batch minting, so like they're just minting a bunch. If you have 1 immortal, it'll be 0.015, and public and whitelisting sale is 0.03. So we wanted to be fair because we also needed to make money to keep the lights on and just make sure that we're gonna give back to the community.
Of course.
It's a business. It's a business. It's a fucking business.
It's a business.
Totally. And so that's, how we've worked some of our utility in from the base, so you can, reinvest into, us and whatever you want to do and get a head start before everybody else, which is we're already cooking 1/10 of the supply is gone just from the immortals. And another, so more utility that we have working on. I am not allowed to announce it. My partner, Jeff, is like, it's so funny. I'm like Slim Shady and he's like Dr. Dre and like that song Guilty Conscious where it's like he's always like, yo, calm down, like don't do that. And I'm like, no, kill him, fuck him, shoot him,
I want to do everything.
Yeah. So like I can't spoil what I want to spoil, but like we have massive, mark my fucking words right now. I have a tweet that says bookmark this so I told you so when it happens. But we have massive life-changing giveaways that we plan on integrating with our utility for our holders, for first minters of Skull Kids Generations. When it sells out, we'll be doing an event that we will be giving it away. I know it's very vague and ambiguous, but absolutely life-changing.
No, all it's making me want to do is make sure I have you back so I can like follow up.
Yes, absolutely. So the reason we're not marketing these amazing giveaways, these life-changing giveaways, these literally viral, we'd sell out like this if we announce what we have in store. But also we're trying to do it strategically. We're trying to do it the Bad Fruit way. So what is the Bad Fruit way, right? We're not going to market that to have an immediate pump and dump and cause FUD and people just dump the secondary after and not give a fuck about the project. So we're not going to say anything until it mints out, and we're just going to surprise someone, and we're just going to change their fucking day. So then what that's going to do is anything that bad fruit does moving forward, listen to me when I fucking speak, because I promise you I'm going to follow through. I come from just such humble beginnings. I used to sleep on piles of clothes. I used to wake up with zipper marks on my face. And like, I'm a dirty skate kid. I always will be. Like, I'll never grow out of that. But like, I'll never forget the other dirty skate kids that are going through that. And that might be here.
Yep.
And that might have thrown $100-$200 at Skull Kids. And they got 2 or 3 mints. And like, maybe I, I want to pay it forward. My life has changed so much this year. Least I can do. Least I can fucking do.
And legit. I can't even tell you, like, the amount of joy I get listening to how pure you are in this. Like, it's just such a gift. Like, you don't see this enough in the space. And this is what is going to take our industry and our communities, like, mass. And I just think we need more of you in the space.
Thank you. I so appreciate that. And, like, when I speak in spaces, and like sometimes I get going, and like I cry when I speak. Like, I'm so crazy. Like, I'm a fucking cult leader. Like, I cry when I speak. Like, I believe my own rhetoric more than anybody else, and that's why it happens, is because I manifest it. And like, I know that's so crazy, so corny, but it's true. And
it's not crazy or corny.
Well, it's just, that's what, like when you see these influencers, these like, people that are just like, manifest your best life. Like, so lame. Like, that's not how.
Think about it. It'll happen.
Yeah. Like, there's a lot more that goes into it. But I speak with such conviction. And like I said, sales, it was sales before this. And like, I was very good at that. So NFTs have been able to just combine all my best qualities and all of my best traits into one place. And like, it fucking upsets me when I see projects burn fucking people. Business 101. The customer is always right. Fucking keep that as like the center of like what you're trying to do, and feed it back to your community. Okay, community customer. Fill in the, swap the word.
But it's okay that that's happening, because they're just not going to sustain, and you will.
Totally. But the problem,
and so weed them out early.
Yeah, totally. But my problem is it's so early. It's 365 days I've been here, and I've been good because I'm legit. I obviously, like, I'm a safe place to bet your money on. But when I see people come in here, like all my friends that are wet behind the ears trying to get involved in NFTs, Jack, how do I do it? What am I fucking? What's a MetaMask? What the fuck's a wallet address? All this stuff. They get in. They see a project that it's like, oh, I like the art. This looks cool. $1,000. Yeah, NFTs are expensive. Okay, like that sounds good. They spend it, and then they realize it's like a dead project because they didn't do homework, or they didn't do the community might have not been so clear on what's going on. They're not so transparent. That's like, transparency is our main policy, and like, it frustrates me because it burns the average Joe. I'm the average Joe. Yeah. I just fucking came here last year and made a killing, and like, everybody can do it, but not if people are. It's the Wild West. Not if people are fucking robbing you. So when that happens, my friends immediately, because they hear all the bad. They know I did all right. They know the ape success. They know all that stuff. But like, they'll be like, dude, it seems like literally 1 in 20 projects are fucking shitholes. And I'm like, yeah, kind of. Like,
yes, that's exactly right.
It turns people off because they don't know where to park their money.
That's right. And that's why, like, we always stress, do your own research. Yep. And it's not often that we're out there pumping a project through our platform. Specifically for that reason, we want to be very careful with people's, time, money, intention. Yeah. I want to ask you a question before we wrap, and it's one of my favorite questions. I think you're going to have a good answer.
Okay.
What would you say to someone new coming into the space that wants to be where you are? What advice would you give?
Wow. Okay. Step 1. You're going to get this book on Amazon. And hey, person who is watching this that is going to take me up on this, DM me and I will buy you that book. Let me change your life. Let me be the first step. So you can always think like, that guy knew what he was talking about. So Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is a tome. I treat it like a Bible. I read it 3 times a year, and I let it brainwash me. I saturate my mind in it. I bought it for people in my Discord. to be a little open-minded. It's an old book, so there's a little questionable verbiage and thoughts, but the main aspect of it's kind of like speaking things into existence and like law of attraction kind of stuff. And I've been reading that book for 10 years, on and on and on and on and on again. And you get to a point where you actually just start believing it. And then when that happens, when you're able to convince your brain to start believing what you want to happen, it really will. But you have to be ready to burn every bridge in your life. And you have to be ready to quit your job and go for gold and never fucking look back and put your balls on the table every day and just fucking work. Just don't look back. Don't look back. Another thing I would recommend, save your ETH. Don't make poor investments. Use your ETH for your utility, for your project. Invest in yourself first, then invest properly. And I would say for the artist out there that, you know, I'm a rare breed. I get told all the time, you know, I'm like a triple threat. Like I'm really good at this. I'm really good at sales. I'm good at business. I'm good at just numbers. I'm good at art. I'm good at everything in between. I'm good at leading. I'm good, you know, and not everybody has that. A lot of artists in this space are very, what's the word I'm looking for? Introverted, just judgmental of their work. I'm not even going to put it out there. They don't like this. And it's like, get over yourself, get the fuck over it, upload it, because you never fucking know. So I'm going to leave you on this one principle. When I was, and you'll find this in all of my fucking podcasts with Jeff in Relentless, it's something that we, my community is very fucking fond on. So what we do is, I was probably 21 years old and I was just learning real estate. And like I said, I was a scrappy little fucking no business selling Hamptons real estate. I was blacking out on drinking and doing crazy shit the night before, getting into fistfights, you know, just crazy shit, and then going and trying to sell $1 million homes. And so what I used to do is my broker, the lady I was learning from, I didn't make a penny for my first 3 years in real estate. And I just shut up and I listened. I listened to the tactics. I saw the way they fuck you'd each other on the phone and just were so vicious and they didn't fucking care. And it was just money, broker. And what my mentor would do is she would drop me off on Dune Road, which is a strip in the Hamptons where all the celebrities, all the millionaires, it's all on the beach in the Hamptons. And she would make me knock on every door until my knuckles were white. And I'd get 900 no's every day. Go fuck yourself. No, I'm not selling my fucking house to you. You're covered in fucking tattoos. What makes you think that I'm going to give you my exclusive listing? You're 21 years old. Do you even, have you even been married? Like, do you know anything about like life? Like, do you know anything about anything? And I didn't. And so I would get so frustrated, right? Months. I would cold call 1,000 people a day, get told, no, go fuck yourself, go fuck yourself. My knuckles are white, literally from knocking, like just defeated, not making any money. And I remember I used to tell Kim, I'm like, fuck, like, why? Oh, I just gave her name up at Doxxing. Whatever, she's cool. But I was like, why? You know, like, why if we're not getting any answers? And she was like, knock until your knuckles are fucking white. That's why I was saying that. That was her that said that. You knock until your knuckles are white. I don't care. Because every 900 no's you get, you might get one yes, and here that one yes is a $30,000 commission, Jack. So when you divide all the time that you've put into getting the no's, building the resilience, what's the worst they tell you, Jack? No. And that power, that little monologue she ran with, I'll never forget. I was sitting in her Cadillac. I was upset. And it was just such a changing moment for me. She was the one who recommended Think and Grow Rich. She used to get it for me on books on tape because I'm horrible at reading because of the ADHD. And she really took the time to like beat the weenie out of me. Like, hey, like you're good. Get it together. Like, so that mentality of what's the worst they tell you? No. Wow. Yeah.
Yes. I
and
literally
then what's
say
the
that
best
all
they
the
tell
time.
you? Yes. And then the best that they tell you is yes, and you roll on to this fucking 7-figure career in NFTs. If I told Paul no that day on the phone and was like, no, dude, I'm not doing it, I'd probably be salaried at 40 grand a year working as a social worker right now. Gave up my career in real estate because I didn't want to do it anymore. And that would have been it. And that would have been the end of the Bad Fruit story. That timeline sucks. So this timeline is rad because I'm so grateful I didn't take no for an answer. And I just let it roll off my shoulders. Ooh. So for the artist out there that is trying to get up, that's trying to get out there, it's the worst they fucking tell you. No, go knock on another door. Go knock on another door.
Yep.
Knock until your knuckles are fucking white. So That's a huge premise of bad fruit, is just getting out there and doing it. I don't care if you blacked out the night before at a bar. I don't care if you got into fist fights. I don't care what drugs you found on the ground that you were shoveling into your nose. That was oddly specific for this. But whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter if you get up that next day and you're going to go knock on doors and you're going to be that scrappy kid with the heart of gold that's just going to fucking work. You're not going to take no for an answer. This spot's for you. But don't come here and be a weenie.
Don't come here and be a weenie.
Yeah.
I feel like you just took me to church.
Well, I'm glad.
Jack, this has been an unreal pleasure. I am so thankful, and you have to agree now. I need to get it recorded that you will come back.
Anytime.
Amazing.
Anytime.
Thank you so much. You guys check out the Skull Kids Mint. We're pre-sale today. What is the official open sale?
So we're going to wait a week. We decided to push it back.
Wait a week. Okay.
But we have like a public whitelist, which is like essentially like if you hop in our Discord. Sorry, I have indigestion, years of just fucking myself up. So yeah. So our public whitelist is if you join our Discord, you'll be able to sign up daily. We'll have like a window every day that you'll be able to like give us your addresses, and we'll like open the gates, like batching for people that want to come in. So that's starting today. So like if you come to Discord, we'll set you up with like, you just whitelist through our Discord, and like we'll get you every day. And you'll mint if you don't have an immortal at 0.03. And then a week from now is when public sale will open. But like our goal is to try to like it's batch minting. Our developer has optimized our minting to be batch minted, so it's like gas is super low. Like we've really tried to optimize it for our community. Yeah. So like we want to incentivize you because there's so many traits. It's so fun. We want to get you guys to like just, all right, I'll mint another. So like our goal is to kind of get this pre-sale to like, we don't want to build fake FOMO. We don't want the wrong people here. We want to build like natural shit where it's like, hey, like we're gonna let you guys eat first for a week if you want to be here, and then it's up to you. Like we're not expecting a fast or a slow mint. We're just here, baby, and we ain't going nowhere. So join up, drink some milk. We are having a sick fucking time in Discord.
Amazing. We'll put all the links in the bio for this video.
Amazing.
So
thank you.
Check out below. And thank you again for being here.
Thank you, Ashley. I will be giving you a follow on Twitter.
Excellent. Bye, guys.